Hello everyone, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. Many of you really enjoyed my first and latest video on tarot. It was a tarot pick-a-card reading. Just a general reading for twin flames, reading into the energy of your situation. And many of you requested that I start creating more of these tarot style videos. So I was brainstorming ideas for my next pick-a-card reading, and the idea that kept coming up over and over again is, who is my twin flame? Now, the reason I didn't create this video on the first impulse is because, as many of you know, and as I often speak about on this channel, the twin flame path is very divinely protected. And this means that as a tarot reader, as a channeler, there are certain things that I cannot read into about someone else's situation. And at the end of the day, your intuition is your soul's compass, guiding you along this twin flame path. However, I do know that sometimes receiving messages externally in the form of tarot readings, getting that kind of validation, a sort of sign from the universe, can be very reassuring, because along this twin flame journey, whether you strongly feel or know you are a twin flame, or whether you're just stumbling upon this material for the first time, being on this journey can fill us with a lot of doubt, because what we experience is often very radically different from not only what those around us have experienced, but from our traditional concepts of love and romance. So I hope that through this reading, I can deliver some kind of message you need to hear right now, give you some kind of guidance, a sign, reassurance, or an affirmation. I don't believe in coincidences, so maybe you were led to this video for a reason, because you needed to receive some kind of guidance or information contained in this reading. But before we get into this video, I do want to introduce myself, because I know that many of you are new here, and on my last video I saw a lot of new commenters that I don't recognize from previous videos. So if you are new, welcome, and you are so welcome here. You are so seen and heard and supported along your spiritual path within this community. In addition to creating these videos, I am also a subliminals creator. This means I use the power of frequency and sound to create powerful subliminal affirmations tracks. In my own life, I tried for many years to incorporate law of attraction techniques and specifically meditation techniques. But I became very frustrated because I kept feeling as though I was coming up against these literal walls within my mind that prevented me from manifesting changes, no matter how hard I tried. Now I realize that those blocks, those walls I was coming up against, were actually negative subconscious belief patterns. And the reason my meditation and visualization techniques weren't working is because these walls were actually patterns of thinking that were so unconscious to me. They were actually stored within my subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is the gatekeeper to the subconscious. So it's very difficult to influence and alter the subconscious mind through traditional meditation and law of attraction techniques. So to address these blockages and negative patterns, I started meditating to subliminal affirmations tracks. Within just a few weeks, I started feeling radical shifts in my energy, and not just in my energy, in my mood, in my confidence, but also in my life. My life began to transform very quickly. So I became so passionate about subliminals, I started creating them myself. And this is how my website, Sound and Soulful, was born. As you can see on the screen, on this website, I've created subliminals for all areas of life, for physical body changes, for mood shifts like confidence and happiness, for manifesting specific material goals like money, a dream job, a dream house. Even in love and relationships, I have subliminals to help you rekindle a romance with an ex-lover, or even attract and manifest a completely new relationship. For twin flames specifically, I have an entire section of subliminals dedicated entirely to you to assist you in shifting the balance of your connection, releasing negative subconscious blockages, preventing you from deepening your union with your twin flame. The subliminal I would most highly recommend from my website is my 7 chakra clearing subliminal. I use this exact subliminal to clear my energy field, to ground myself, and to manifest changes by releasing subconscious blockages stored within each of the 7 chakras. I have a 7 chakra subliminal designed specifically for twin flames, and one for those of you who may or may not be twin flames and who just want a general, deep level clearing subliminal. So these 2 7 chakra clearing subliminals will be linked in the pinned comment as well as the description box. And I'll also include more information about how you can sign up for a 7-day free trial on my website and test out any of my subliminals completely free. And I'm sharing all this because as someone who has watched a lot of tarot in the past, I often feel as though I really resonate with a lot of the information given to me by these readers, but in the past I've found that I haven't had the tools, the energetic resources to apply this information to my daily life. So I like to recommend subliminals for those of you who are members as tools you can use to address certain energetic issues or blockages that may come up within these readings. So with that being said, I am now showing on the screen an image of 4 cards. I want you to pay attention to which card you're feeling drawn to. It could just be one, or it could be more than one. Take a deep breath and truly sense into which card keeps pulling you, pulling at your energy, pulling at your vision even. You may feel as though your eyes just keep being drawn there. Again, within this reading, I'm about to share with you traits and characteristics that your twin flame may have. This is a general reading, so only take what resonates, but I will try to get as specific as I possibly can, even hopefully including potential signs your twin flame may be, or certain characteristics about them, or even some letter initials that may be in their name. Once you've decided which card you most resonate with, check the pinned comment under this video, and you can skip ahead to the timestamp so you can read listen to your specific reading. Thank you so much for listening to this intro, and please enjoy your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. As I said in the intro, this reading is to share with you some potential traits and characteristics of your twin flame to help you recognize them either when you meet them in the future, or perhaps to affirm to you that you've already met them in this physical life, to remind you of what your soul already knows about your twin flame. Like I said in the intro, I'm going to try to get as specific as possible, but this path is divinely protected, so there are certain points in the reading where I may say that I feel I am being blocked from seeing certain things, and this is all by divine intention, because there are certain things along the twin flame path that are simply meant to unfold before you that you aren't meant to be told, but I will be as detailed as I can. All right, so I'm going to begin by pulling some cards for you. And I've never done a reading like this before, so it's going to be a little makeshift, so bear with me, but I'm hoping that these cards can give us a little insight into your twin flame, group number 1, what your twin flame may be going through or what their life has been like. Okay. All right, so I just pulled 3 cards for you, group number 1, and the first card I pulled for you is the Angel of Love. So I'm going to read a little bit about this, although intuitively before I read, I'm feeling as though this card isn't actually about your twin flame specifically, but that they sense a loving presence. And actually, I just felt some goosebumps because I actually feel as though they are longing for this loving presence, but simultaneously sensing that it's out there for them. And I heard unworthy. I feel as though your twin flame is someone who doesn't quite feel worthy of love, and I'm not really sure why. And again, remember, twin flames are mirror energy, so some of this could apply to you as well in some way. But I feel as though this Angel of Love, it's the picture is of this beautiful angel holding her heart in her hands. And I feel as though to your twin flame, this is actually you, and you may or may not have met yet. We'll get into that later. But I feel as though to your twin flame, they have this ideal of this love coming into their life. And when I looked at this angel holding this heart-shaped stone in her hand, for some reason, I saw your twin flame as a young child holding their heart out to a caregiver like their parents, and they were wide-eyed and innocent and holding their heart in their hands, and they were rejected. And now, holding their heart again as an adult, they feel very guarded. I can see that even with the 3rd card I pulled, the garden and the gate. I see with this gate that they actually have this gate around their heart. They want to give their heart away, but they are afraid of being rejected because of this childhood wound. And again, because this is your twin flame, this may also reflect some of your own wounding. But I do sense that regardless of whether you've met this person or not, they do have a strong sense of you, or a very clear sense of the kind of ideal love relationship they want to experience. They may be even a little bit old-fashioned. I saw someone 1950s kind of looking man, a young man, but back in the 50s. And I'm thinking from that, either you may intuitively know that you and your twin flame have a past life in the 50s where things were very traditional between you. You had a very traditional kind of marriage, and it was a happy marriage. Or alternatively, you could have had a 50s past life where I saw, this may just be one of you, but I saw that you were a housewife. This, again, is just a very specific message for someone, but you were a housewife and in a very unhappy, possibly even controlling or abusive marriage, and you were very unhappy within this marriage, and you briefly met your twin flame, but because it was the 1950s and you may have already had kids or had built this whole white picket fence life with this person, and you felt this longing and sadness, this grief, because in this past life, despite meeting your twin flame and feeling caught up into this whirlwind romance, you felt as though you couldn't be together because of these other obligations. And again, this is so specific. I never know what messages are coming through, but I feel that one of you really has an affinity for 50s culture, or is really drawn to the whole 50s kind of style. I saw like a 50s diner. This is incredibly specific, but for one of you, you've actually felt this when you walked into an old diner, maybe when you were a kid, or a diner that was actually built in the 50s, one of those places that almost feels like a time capsule because you walk in and it's just like it used to be. And you've gotten this strange sense of nostalgia from it that felt really familiar. And it's because you actually had a past life with your twin flame in the 50s, or you may have even been a waitress or a waiter at this kind of a diner, that kind of style that could have been your job in a past life. Again, ultra specific. That may just apply to one of you, but I like to just say whatever comes through. Okay, so we've got the angel of love, your twin flame being afraid, but sensing your presence. I want to get a little bit more information on your twin flame's life status at the moment. So I'm going to read into a little bit about this card, this angel of love. If you're looking for new love, this angel brings the message of its upcoming approach. Or if you're looking for a deeper, more intimate connection with someone already in your life, she's here to say that far greater tenderness is available to you. Oh, that's so interesting, because just like I talked about with this past life in which you were in this controlling relationship, I am starting to sense that in this life, your twin flame is someone that you may already know, or at least have an awareness of. But I feel that either you and your twin flame is in this controlling relationship in this life, kind of like how I spoke about with the 50s past life relationship, this kind of constricting relationship, maybe just like that 50s housewife. Either you or your twin flame feel dependent, codependent materially on this third party, or you feel powerless within the relationship. You feel stuck. You may have fallen into this vision of this white picket fence family, or had that vision in the future with your current partner, but then you met your twin flame or became aware of them, and that got completely shaken up. I just saw the white picket fence being broken. Suddenly that vision you had of this normal nuclear family, suburban neighborhood life was really turned upside down. And I feel that whether you've met your twin flame or not, your awareness of their presence and your spiritual awakening has caused this to happen. And I feel like between you or your twin flame, whoever is connecting with this controlling third party, you're feeling as though, again, that you're stuck. But the reason you feel stuck, or your twin flame feels stuck, is because you're actually resolving some karma with this person. Again, that I keep getting this 50s feeling. Someone definitely has a past life in the 50s. And actually this karma, for those of you who resonated with that 50s past life, could be because for someone listening, you were a 50s housewife or in a 50s marriage that made you very unhappy. And this person, because of the karma you created in that life, in this life, you were now put with that soul again in a relationship or in a marriage that was controlling. And this time, it is part of your karma to resolve that wound, to evolve on a soul level to the point where you aren't afraid to break free from that control, from that restriction, where you aren't afraid to be on your own, to be independent, to not be dependent on another person for material security. I'm feeling this sense of security that, again, this could be either you or your twin flame with this third party, but I feel like whoever this third party is, within this relationship, they provide this sense of material security. I heard even acceptability, like socially being with this person feels acceptable. Your parents may like them, your friends may like them, and you may feel as though going your own way or breaking free of this person would not only shake up your love life, but also affect you in a very material way. And I'm being guided to tell you to trust in your own inner stability, in your own inner worth. This is not coincidence that you ended up in this controlling situation, or that your twin flame is in this controlling situation, but it's actually because you are here to resolve this karma, this wound. Which, by the way, if you do feel stuck in life or in this situation, I've had experiences like this in the past, and I've come to realize, and I would like to share with you, that a lot of times the reason we feel so stuck is because these patterns aren't just conscious patterns of thoughts. They actually become stored in our energy, in our subconscious mind, and become part of what we call the shadow self. So we really absorb and internalize these feelings of low self-confidence, of fear, of lack of worthiness. For me, the greatest tool I used to dissolve these blockages is the 7-chakra clearing subliminal I've created, because I found that personally I stored many of these blocks, especially in my solar plexus chakra and in my root chakra. So again, I don't know who that will resonate with, but that subliminal, as well as any others I recommend during your reading, will be linked in the pinned comment underneath your timestamp if you are interested in trying them out. Okay, so the next card I pulled for who your twin flame is a woman holding a heart. So I just want to read a little bit about what this might be, although I've already feel this really plays into what we were just talking about with this third party situation. The woman on this card wears a butterfly in her hair and holds a lovely large heart in her hands. For a woman, this card upright could be a reflection of your own state of peaceful emotion and receptivity for love, or it might be a message that your family issues are going to resolve. See, in regards to your twin flame, I'm getting a strong masculine energy from this person. So I have a feeling many of you listening to this are the divine feminine, although again, remember, with these mirrored energies, sometimes when I talk about your twin flame, it could actually be describing you or the other way around. But for those of you who resonate as the divine feminine, I feel as though this woman holding a heart is actually the third party. This is a representation of the ways in which your twin flame feels trapped in this relationship or some kind of connection. If it's not a third-party connection, I also feel that it could be a strong maternal influence. I'm really getting a mother, someone who feels the need to hold really tightly to this person's heart and is afraid to set them free for some reason. So this person, if this is a divine masculine that we're talking about here, could be really trying to resolve some kind of mother wound, either with a mother who was overly controlling. I'm really sensing a very overbearing maternal influence, or a third-party lover who is very controlling and insecure. And this is part of why your twin flame feels so trapped within this connection, if there is a third party, because they feel as though I feel a lot of pain. I feel like your twin flame is someone who is a healer, who is very empathic. And part of why they have trouble resolving these emotional issues with the women in their lives is because they feel very responsible for their emotions. And maybe that's part of why they're afraid to give their heart to you, because they feel overburdened already by all of the influences and people in their lives. And they feel as though they desperately want to be loved, but they are afraid to give their heart away and to either have it broken or to feel overly responsible for the romantic partner within their connection and their emotions and their feelings. So this third card I pulled for your twin flame, this garden and the gates, I'm already feeling this has to do with them guarding their heart because of the reasons I've just stated. But I do want to read a little bit about it. The garden is locked while the girl wears a key on a chain around her neck. That line really stood out to me because I feel as though your twin flame has this gate around their heart. And actually the woman in this image who is standing outside of the gate is you. And whether you realize it or not, you have the key around your neck. You've always carried the key to your twin flame's heart to unlock this gate. And I just felt a little bit of fear coming up, as if this still scares them. So if you haven't met your twin flame yet, the reason they may be not coming into your life is because of all of these issues they are resolving with either a third party or maternal issues, and they are afraid to let someone unlock the gate to their heart. So on a higher level, they are being guided to heal before you meet. But if you are aware of this person or you have met, you may be now experiencing some of the effects of their fear. You may feel as though with this person, you instantaneously, I just heard in a snap, you unlock their gate with this key around your neck, and I just saw your twin flame looking astonished. You may almost see this in their eyes when they find themselves opening up to you almost accidentally and they don't know why. And it's because you have this key to their heart. You can instantly unlock them in a way that nobody else around them can. It actually causes them to feel a little bit afraid at this point in time. Okay, group number 1. So next, I want to pull some potential characteristics or phrases that may be associated with your twin flame. Now, the purpose of this is just to spark your intuition, because again, the whole purpose of this reading is simply to guide you into your own soul's intuition on this person, on this situation, because at the end of the day, it's only your situation that knows, or your intuition rather, that knows the answer. Okay, so I've pulled 4 cards for you. Let's see what they say. Okay, I've pulled career, broken, face, and first love. Okay, so first of all, I strongly feel that this brokenness that I just pulled comes from the dynamic we already spoke of with either this person's rejection by their parents when they were young, or with their mother, specifically some kind of mother wound that they may have. And because of this, your twin flame has an awareness that they are broken. And this may actually be part of the reason they are so guarded and so afraid of letting you in. And because of this brokenness, I feel that this person strongly throws themselves into their career. They are very career-oriented. I really saw someone in a very stable kind of career position, although maybe not quite happy with it. I don't know that they're really living their passion, but they may have kind of buried those passions and desires, and within their career, it may look from the external as though they've settled for mediocrity simply because they long for that sense of security. Like I said, because of the ways they've been rejected, they've really longed to create a secure foundation materially for themselves, and so they really may be focusing on their career. With this first love card, I actually got this strange sense of ending when I heard this. Not really a happy thing, but I feel that if they are in a third-party romantic connection, this was their first love, or what they thought to be their first love in this life. And that is why it is so hard for them to let it go, because I feel as though this person is fiercely loyal, almost to a fault. And to you, if you have connected with them, this could be really frustrating, because if you've connected, if you've met, and they're still connecting with this third party, you can feel as though it's a very slow-moving energy, because loyalty is often a slow-moving energy. It's slow to move on because it is so fiercely devoted to a specific thing or person, which is actually really goes along with their career too. I feel like they're not only loyal to this first love that they may still be with, or this person, but that they're also very loyal to their career, but they do this to the point where it breaks them. They are so loyal that they don't allow themselves to be free. And I feel that you sense that, and part of why you are going to help them evolve is because by meeting you, they're going to be taught to break out of this shell, to break out of their own fears, to step out and truly ask for what they want of life boldly, rather than settling for mediocrity, either in their relationships or career under the guise of loyalty or keeping a commitment. And the last message or word that I pulled for you is face. When I wrote this, I meant a physical face, as in a face being a characteristic. that you or your twin flame really notice about each other, but actually I'm hearing that they have to face these things. They have to face this career. They have to face this third party. They have to face these potential family issues. And that because they have been broken in the past, they have been burying these issues. They're afraid to face them. And again, some of this may apply to you as well. The reason I recommend a comprehensive approach to twin flame healing is because everything our twin flame experiences, especially the things we are so frustrated about, are actually reflected in our own energy in some way, which is why I always say that with my twin flame 7 chakra subliminal, it's designed to clear away and balance the energy, clear the negative energy, and balance the energy within you, because by doing this, you naturally shift the balance of the energy within your twin flame connection. Okay, so now I'd like to pull some very specific messages to see if we can read more into where your twin flame is at in this present moment, or what they're feeling perhaps about you. Oh my gosh, I just got goosebumps. This message just says, please wait. I feel that for some of you, this is a message from your twin flame's higher self, because their higher self knows that they aren't ready to meet you yet. So if you haven't met your twin flame yet, know that you're being asked to keep your standards high. I keep hearing high standards. Do not settle, because in the energy of you not settling, your twin flame actually senses that kind of strong, sturdy, stable energy. And that's the kind of stability they're really longing for in love. And it will really call them in a magnetic way. If you don't settle, they will energetically find the courage within themselves not to settle for these relationships and this potentially career that aren't serving them. If you have met your twin flame, I feel that this message is telling you not to lose hope or patience, because I feel many of you have had to be very patient. If this has resonated with you so far, and you're finding that your twin flame is with this third party, or they're having these maternal issues, these mother issues, whatever it may be, or that they're very locked up, like this gate around their heart, I felt this wave of love, and I feel that that was the love your twin flame feels for you, that they do truly, deeply love you, but that they have this very shaken sense of security, and this comes from an inner child wound, and they feel very unstable right now, very uncertain, very stuck in these states of mediocrity that they know they need to break out of. And that's what I sense, that they know that it's time to move on from these situations and people and to move toward you, but that it's very scary for them. And I feel that they're going to make this forward movement as long as you hold your standards and you shift and balance your own energy and remain a stable magnetic force for them. I'm feeling guided to pull a few more messages for you, group number 1. I got 2 here. It wasn't easy. Okay, so I feel that although I wrote this in the past tense, it feels like the present tense here, that they want you to understand that although they may not show it, they're really breaking in these situations. They may have just started to go through some kind of spiritual awakening. And that it's not as easy as it looks. I heard it's not as easy as it looks. That on the surface, their life may look very put together. It may look as though they have this stable relationship, that they're very happy, that they have a good job. But beneath the surface, they are going through this immense turbulence and change and inner conflict. They know that they have to transform their life in certain ways and that they have to move on, but they want you to understand. They want you to have, I hear that they're really wanting your sympathy here for them, because they want you to know that this isn't easy for them, but that they really are trying. And the third message I pulled is you promised. And I feel like, wow, I just got this, I keep going back to this 50s scene, so I don't know who is strongly connecting with this, but someone must be, because I really feel that I saw this image, this interaction in a past life. So let me know if any of you resonate with this, but I feel that one of you in a past life with your twin flame literally promised to them that you would find them in another life, that you would love them forever, that you would wait for them forever, that you would be together somehow. And not just in this past life, but on a soul level, prior to incarnating here, your soul, your twin flame on a higher level is saying, remember, remember, remember. They're trying to shake you awake because prior to incarnating here, you made a promise, not just a one-way. I get the sense this is a two-way promise. You promised to each other that you would wait for one another, that you would be patient with one another, and that this would be the lifetime in which you would ultimately overcome the obstacles between you and come together. The last thing I want to do is try to pull some potential specific information about your twin flame in regards to potential initials and potential signs that they could be. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel this may be getting a little bit too specific. So if you find that this part of the reading doesn't resonate with you, but that parts of the rest do, know that this could be because you are actually being shielded against getting information that's too specific. Sorry, I dropped a card. It's too specific right now about your twin flame. This could sometimes be a form of protection because there are certain things you do have to figure out on your own, and if you were to be given the information in a reading like this, you wouldn't learn the lessons that you have to learn in the unfolding of this realization of your twin flame. Okay, I'm getting G, I, T. Oddly, I'm getting Z. No, that's a weird letter. I'm getting H. And 2 cards just fell out, so those will be our last 2. V and E. So if any of those initials or letters are significant to you, this could be initials in a first name, a middle name, a last name, or something significant in general with your twin flame. Something I find interesting just looking at these combinations of letters that fell out is that the letters, even though I only pulled 7 of them, they actually do spell a word, and one of the words I can see spelled here is give. And I feel as though this is a way of your twin flame saying that they long to give you their heart, to give you everything. Yeah, I heard not just their heart, but everything. They want to give you the life that in past lives you longed to create together, but because of the circumstances were not able to create together. They long to give you that sense of security and stability, but they need you to give that same stability back to them. They need to feel secure as well, because they have felt very unstable because of the karma they've been resolving in this life. So now I'm going to choose some of the signs and just see potentially what sign your twin flame may be. I was getting such strong earth energy, but that could have just been the loyalty and dedication of your twin flame. So I'm getting Aquarius, Gemini keeps coming back up strangely. Maybe some of these could be your sign as well. I'm sensing potentially a connection between an air sign and an earth sign. Let's see what other signs I get. I'm getting Virgo, I'm getting Libra, and Pisces. So if any of those signs connect with either you or your twin flame, or perhaps some of the energies involved in this connection. And again, I know that between the signs and the letters, that was getting a little specific, and some of you are going to be guarded against knowing that specific information about your twin flame at this time. And just one final random message. I just saw someone looking at me, a man looking at me with piercing eyes. They were like bright green, very emerald, piercing eyes. And I feel as though for some of you, either your twin flame has green eyes, you have green eyes, or you've seen your twin flame looking at you with this piercing gaze. For some reason I heard in dreams, even if you haven't met or if you haven't connected much in the physical, I feel that you felt yourself making eye contact with your twin flame very intensely, maybe even through dream experiences. And your twin flame wants you to know this is their way of communicating their love for you despite these potential obstacles that may be keeping you apart right now physically. So group number 1, I hope this reading was helpful for you. I know that there were a lot of random specific messages coming through just because there are so many of you listening and so many specific different scenarios that I was trying to share as much of it as possible. But I do hope it provided some kind of insight, clarity, or guidance, or maybe just some affirmation or a sign that you needed along this journey. If I did resonate with you, please consider subscribing to this channel, joining our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings. The 7 chakra twin flame subliminal I mentioned throughout your reading will be linked in the pinned comment and the description box, and you can try out this subliminal as well as any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created completely free when you create a trial account on my website. Have a fantastic rest of your day, group number 1, and I hope you'll join me again in the next video. Hello, group number 2. If you chose the second card in the image, then this reading is for you. Remember, as I said in the intro, that this video, this tarot reading, is a bit delicate because the twin flame connection is very guarded, highly protected, so you will be guided into the information you are both ready on a higher level and on a 3D level to receive about your twin flame, and you will not be given any more of that because this path is meant to unfold uniquely, individually, in its own time for each of us. So you may have been guided in this video just to receive a certain specific message from this reading, whatever that message may be, and you will know it when it comes through because it will resonate deep in your soul. You may have a flash of a deja vu kind of feeling. I'm feeling like the need to say this because I think someone is going to recognize a piece of information that resonates with them through a strong feeling of deja vu, and that is a sign. Do not ignore it. But within this reading, I am going to try to give you as much specific information as I possibly can, even though this is a general reading. So I'm going to be trying to give you potential letter initials of your twin flame or letters associated with them, as well as certain traits or characteristics that they may have, what their sign could possibly be, and just any other kinds of messages about their current situation or status that might come through during this reading. Sorry, I was just getting myself a little bit organized here with my cards after group number 1. The first thing I'm going to do is pull 3 cards from my Energy Oracle card deck just to get a general sense for who your twin flame is, in a broad sense. So some of the life circumstances they may be in, the challenges they may be going through, just so we can better understand them at this moment. Okay, Spirit, what does group number 2 need to know about who their twin flame is? What is group number 2's twin flame doing right now? Okay, I just pulled 3 cards for you, group number 2. Okay, the first card I pulled is Storm Warning, but it's actually in reverse. Usually this card indicates some kind of a challenge ahead, but I'm going to read a little bit about the reversed position of this card. This card reverse indicates that the dark times are behind you, or at least beginning to fall away. For some reason, as I read that, I saw an image of your twin flame going through, you know, what parents call a phase, which is really just a lighthearted, flippant kind of way sometimes parents refer to when their child goes through a very dark time in their teenage years, a kind of early spiritual awakening or wounding wounding or awakening that happens so early, they're almost unprepared by a physical 3D perspective to handle it. And so they begin to act out, as people would say, in certain ways. I saw your twin flame being really rebellious in their teenage years. I don't know who this is, but I saw someone's twin flame having like a real goth phase in their teenage years, or having dyed their hair black, or having naturally jet black hair, and maybe some facial piercings or something like that. Maybe even tattoos, wearing a lot of black. I see this kind of material teenage phase is actually reflecting a lot of inner pain that was going on the inside, really feeling lost, confused, and broken in life. And I feel, though, that this is something that's in their past. It doesn't really reflect who they are now, but it does wear off on the kind of person that they've become, because the way we are, the wounds we experience as children, even if we can appear to have moved past them, on the inside, they still forever alter our personality. When you think about it, anything that happened to you as a child, like for example, I feel guided to share this, so maybe this connects to your twin flame, but when I was young, I was really bullied for being weird and for always being by myself and wearing glasses and just being really nerdy. And as a result, I always felt really left out and really alone. And so as I got older, I feel as though these appearances fell away. I started to materially, by all appearances, begin to fit in. I started to look quote unquote normal, like, I didn't look so weird, or I didn't stand out as much. But despite these external appearance changes, on the inside, the fact that I was the so-called weird girl and made fun of actually made me a stronger person, a more compassionate person, someone who couldn't help but be kind to people who were being bullied or being left out, even though I was no longer being bullied. And I just felt the need to share that because I feel as though either one of you is going to deeply connect with this story on a personal, individual level, or that your twin flame actually experienced this, where they felt very left out. They felt very alone in their teenage or childhood years. They may have even acted out or gone through a rebellious phase as a result. And so when they got older, I saw them kind of looking quote unquote normal, like their appearance drastically changed from being really emo and goth to suddenly appearing to really fit in with normal societal standards, but that on the inside, they were still this person who had undergone this feeling of being an outcast, of being a rebel. And so they carried this spirit with them, this kind of, I'm feeling almost kind of a rebellious spirit. I saw someone working a 9-to-5, still feeling this rebel spirit, this fire within them. Maybe they are a fire sign. I'm feeling really fiery energy. But I do feel that these difficult times are mostly behind them, although they do still have some wounds from the past. The second card I'm pulling is Angel of Balance in reverse. This is really interesting. I want to read a little bit about this for you guys to just understand what your twin flame may be going through. In this position, the Angel of Balance comes with a loving warning that something may be seriously out of proportion in your life. It could be an important emotional component, such as a lack of self-acceptance or self-care. I really am getting the feeling that this person, despite fitting into normal society and despite moving out of this very obvious rebellious phase of their teenage years, is still carrying with them a lot of the wounds, but they are shoving them down, they are numbing them. And this numbing is throwing them out of balance. So I heard workaholic, so someone may be really throwing themselves into their work. And I feel as though for some of you, your twin flame is extremely gifted, extremely talented. Hopefully we'll get into more characteristics later, but they aren't actually using these gifts or talents right now. And the job they're working, however they're earning money, is something that they know is beneath them. They know that they are worth more than whatever they are doing. And remember, by the way, with these readings, your twin flame is a mirror of your energy. So in many ways, what I say about your twin flame could actually also be applying to you, because you do share an identical soul frequency and often share similar experiences to reflect this kind of intertwined soul path. So I feel their life is very unbalanced. I feel as though they don't have a good work-life balance right now. They're really throwing themselves into work. For some reason, I heard like fast food or minimum wage, that they're working for a very low wage, but the work is very difficult and doesn't really utilize their creative talents. But they are very driven. They are really driven and really trying to work hard. And I just got the feeling that they've tried working hard their entire life, that they feel as though they're constantly pushing themselves to burnout, pushing and pushing, trying to make ends meet in their life. And they're very caught up in this lack of material physical security, which is part of why they're working so hard. The third card I got is Door to Personal Healing and Happiness, which is also in reverse. That's very interesting. All of these cards we've pulled so far have been in the reverse position. You may be feeling stuck where your personal intentions are concerned. Yes, so what was I just saying, guys? I really feel like your twin flame is feeling stuck in life, in this job. I heard that they were a little bit angry. That might be that little bit of rebellious spirit still coming out, where they feel as though they were so damaged by their upbringing growing up, by their parents, that they were hurt by people around them, and that they really did everything they could to come out of this, to work, to save as much money as they could, to keep making ends meet. But I just saw someone feeling as though it's always running through their fingers. Time is running through their fingers. Happiness is running through their fingers. Things are just always falling apart for them. And I just heard life isn't fair. A big part of their healing right now is going to be stepping into their true potential and finding a way to utilize their true inner strengths and gifts to create material stability for themselves in their life. And again, as your twin flame, they share your energy, so this could be reflecting for you as well. I want to read a little bit more about this third card. Self-mastery and discipline may be hard to achieve right now, or specific plans for personal change may be being blocked. Remember that your intentions need to be clear and unconflicted. Whatever you are working on, know that you are capable of achieving it and that you deserve it. So I really feel that because your twin flame has been numbing all of this childhood hurt, this pain, with work or with throwing themselves into something, they've been burning themselves out, so they really haven't had time or really even wanted to turn within and to reflect, and even to, in doing that, create a clear vision for themselves. I just heard chaos. I feel like their life is very chaotic right now. If you haven't met your twin flame, the reason for this is probably because their life is so chaotic that on a higher level, their higher self knows that I just saw a hoarder's house, just a really cluttered, messy house. That's how they feel metaphorically, that their life is too messy for you to come into it, and they desperately want you in their life. I heard for some of you, you represent stability to your twin flame and a home. I heard a home that they never really had growing up. You represent that to them metaphorically, but their house feels so disordered and chaotic in a metaphysical sense that they don't feel prepared. They don't feel as though, I just saw a garden that was overrun with weeds, and then a rose came to be planted in it, but it couldn't fit anywhere in the garden. And it's like your twin flame may even feel as though they're protecting you by not being with you because they don't have any room for your beauty, for your love. They want to make space for it. They value your beauty so much that they feel as though they're unworthy of it. This feeling of unworthiness is coming up. So if you have met your twin flame, you may find that this is emotional unavailability, that it comes off as them being cold or pushing you away or trying to push you out of their life because they feel as though they don't have room for something as magnificent and beautiful and warm and loving and soft as you, that I just saw a flower in the winter in the snow, buried under the snow. They really see themselves, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh because this is really painful for them, but it's just they really see themselves as being that snow burying your flowers. It's very melodramatic. It's very like emo punk song kind of dramatic, would be like the soundtrack to their life, is kind of feeling as though And so they want you, but they can't have you because they don't deserve you, and you would be better off without them. That's what they're telling themselves, and maybe that's even what they're telling you. So they're not fully letting you in. So their main healing point is going to be making space for you in their life. So now that we've pulled those cards, I am so curious. I really want to pull some traits for your person. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this right away. I'm going to pull right away art, because I feel like in some sense your person, your twin flame, is some kind of artist. This could be traditional, like they actually are a painter or they do some kind of physical artwork. But I feel for many of you, this is music related. I get the sense they could have been in a band at some point or have a dream of being a musician. Or if they don't create this art themselves and they really value it, I get the sense this person on a date is the kind of person who cares more about your taste in music than about how you look or about how much money you make. They really value artistic style. They really value what art you appreciate. I'm smiling because I get the feeling one of you has even had your twin flame say, or you would sense that they would say that kind of quote of, you can really tell a lot about a person by their taste in music. I have a feeling that even perhaps you and your twin flame, if you have met, you may have really connected on music. You may share a lot of the same musical taste, and this may actually be a lot of what really attracted your twin flame to you, or how you knew you would recognize one another. I feel that you knew you would recognize each other through similar taste in some kind of art or appreciation for art in some way. But I do want to pull a few more. Oh, one just fell out. Strong. Okay, so I've been getting this feeling, this really confirmed it, that your twin flame really puts on a strong front. They're not this outwardly super emo, rebellious looking person necessarily anymore, although I feel that they went through a teenage phase like this. They may look like conventionally like they fit in with society now at this stage in their life, but because of all that they've been through and all that they're numbing, they are a very, very strong person. I just heard stronger than people think. I feel that this person gets underestimated, perhaps possibly because of their job, because they're doing something that is, again, beneath them. And I feel that your twin flame has a very strong awareness that this is beneath them. They may complain a lot about their job. They're one of those people that really talks about how we live in like a matrix, or they really talk, they're very anti-capitalist or something like that. They have a lot of very strong opinions and views. I'm getting strength in their opinions as well. They're very opinionated with their political views, with their views on what is good music, what is good food, what is good like cultural type things. I feel like they do have very strong opinions. And the third thing I pulled was childhood, which really so perfectly ties into what I've been saying about them really showing this strong outer front is really just them covering for this inner child who has been very, very broken, and not much has come up on specifically what childhood wounds they experienced. Okay, I just pulled intellect. So again, this person is very intellectual. I don't get the sense they may have been that good of a student. I don't know that they were one of those people who may have not applied themselves in school, but were always very smart. They were very, very intellectual. They may even like history or politics or like to read, but they definitely like to share their opinions on major political issues and their thoughts. They aren't afraid to speak their mind. I saw impossible as the next thing I pulled. I feel that actually this word impossible in this situation with your twin flame translates to stubborn. I get the feeling this is a very stubborn person. When they decide that they want something, they know that they want it. And I feel that I just felt this attraction. I feel like you are very attracted to them knowing what they want. You are actually very attracted to this stubbornness about them. And the last thing I pulled was interesting. I feel that this really refers to the magnetism between you and your twin flame, that you were very fascinated by them because they put up this front of strength. They may have been the strong, silent type. They were very opinionated, very stubborn, very intellectual, and yet they were still stuck in this life position, maybe this job that they didn't like, this minimum wage job, whatever it is. And you could tell that beneath the surface, beneath this front, there was this wounded child, and you could see this more clearly than anyone else because you are their twin flame. So you could see through this cold, hard, strong exterior. And because of this paradox between this strong outer front and this wounded inner child, combined with this taste for art and these strong opinions and this intellect, you just were fascinated by them almost instantly. And I get the sense this really went both directions. They were very fascinated by you. I get the sense that they were the kind of person who told you that you were different from anyone that they've ever met, and they want you to know, if they did say this to you, whoever this is for, that they really did mean this, even if they've been somewhat unavailable lately. So now I'm going to pull some specific initials that could potentially be associated with your twin flame. I'm going to warn you, like I did with group 1, for this section, I'm going to pull initials and potential signs, but these will resonate with some of you. Others of you won't resonate with this part of the reading because this gets very specific, and this is the part where some of you will be guided, or rather guarded, from knowing this very specific information about this person just yet. It would just give you too much information, and Spirit knows that this isn't the time for you to have this information. But I will go ahead and pull some letters. Okay, the first one I pulled is O. Second one I pulled is N. Okay, third card I pulled is B. I. K. M. J. and V. So some of those letters may be significant either in your twin flame's first name, middle name, last name, or some connection point in their life. But if none of those resonated with you, again, know that you may be protected against receiving such ultra-specific information about your twin flame at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, one of you, this person is a Capricorn. I can just tell because this card actually fell out a while ago while I was looking for a different card. So I feel that one of you are definitely connecting with a Capricorn. Let's see. Libra. Virgo. Cancer. Someone's definitely getting a Libra because I pulled that a second time. And I just pulled Capricorn again. So I'm really feeling Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. Some of you are connecting with. And again, this won't resonate with all of you. They could be that sign. They could have placements for that sign in their chart, or this could be too specific for Spirit to reveal this specific information to you right now. And one card that I accidentally missed that fell out from the characteristics pile is growth. So I'm feeling that for those of you who have resonated with this, this is really telling you, it's kind of a final trait message, which is that your twin flame, despite external appearances maybe not showing this growth, they are going through a huge period of growth and transformation on the inside, and eventually that is going to reflect externally, but it may take time. This is really a process for them, an arduous process of growth and healing, and that it may take time for them, like I said earlier, to make a room completely in the physical for you in their life. So finally, I'm going to pull some specific messages that your twin flame may have for you at this time. Oh, this just hit me right in the solar plexus. It's almost too much. Your twin flame, I get the sense that this means that this is in two senses. One, in connection with you. If they've met you already, they felt as though their love for you is almost too much. It brings them to their knees, how fascinated they are with you, how in love they are with you. And it's so painful for them because they are so painfully aware that their life is so chaotic. They feel like they're a mess. They feel like they don't have room for you in their life right now. And the love they feel for you is so overwhelming that it's really triggering all of these childhood wounds for healing, and it's almost too much. But in the other sense, I feel like their life for them right now, it feels like it's almost too much. This working until they're completely burnt out, trying to just survive on a day-to-day basis, they're really feeling like it's almost too much. Let's see what other messages your twin flame might have for you. Okay, I just pulled two. You know already. This sounds so much like your twin flame from what we've already said with them being so stubborn. I feel they're almost stubborn to tell you aloud in words how they feel about you, that they'll say it in every way but words, that they'll show it through their facial expressions. They can't hide their love for you. Their eyes will light up when they're around you. Their body language will tell you with every cell of their being that they're interested in you. And yet sometimes with their words, I feel they're very sparse with their words. They don't always use their words to fully express how they feel about you, but they're trying to tell you on an energetic level you know already. And I get the sense that for some of you, you have already met this person and you've really gone back and forth in doubt whether or not this is your twin flame. And this is actually your higher self speaking to you and saying, you know already, you know this is your person, you know this is the one. And the third card I pulled is Please Wait, which is interesting because that's the same message I pulled for group 1. But I feel like this is telling you, please wait, because I am trying to make room for you in my life. But it's been very difficult. I've had a lot of healing to go through, and I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it happen. I feel that within this stubbornness, this person has a silent determination. They just need to start getting clear on their vision for their life, which inevitably to them includes you, no doubt. They want you to know that whenever they see their future, they can only see you in it, even if they don't always express that through their words. I feel kind of guided to pull just one more message for you. Everywhere I go. Okay, so with this, I got the sense, for some of you, I think that your twin flame may have left you, either physically moved away or emotionally. They may have created some kind of a distance between you. Or perhaps they're the kind of person that jumps around a lot from relationship to relationship or from job to job in this attempt to numb all of this childhood wounding. But they're thinking in their minds that everywhere they go, they see you. I heard someone saying, I see your face in every person I meet, that everywhere they go, they see you, they feel you, they know that you're the one, and they just know on a higher level that they have all of this healing to go through, all of these things that need to be set in order in their life. So group number 2, I hope this reading was helpful for you. I hope it provided you with some sense of insight or clarity along this journey. Remember that my 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal is in the pinned comment and the description box. If this reading resonated with you, this subliminal is a very powerful way to shift the balance of your own energy, to release your own negative subconscious blockages, because your twin flame is your mirror soul. They share your energy. So whenever you heal or shift the energy within, your twin flame will feel that healing effect radiating to them and manifesting in their own life as well. And as a result, you will be naturally, magnetically brought closer together. So again, that subliminal will be in the pinned comment and the description box if you'd like more information on that. Otherwise, if I resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel, join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your day, group number 2, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Hello, group number 3. If you chose the 3rd card, this reading is for you. While I shuffle the deck, I just want to share a few important things first. As I said to the other 2 groups, this reading is very delicate because the twin flame path is highly protected by divine forces, by your guides, by your higher self, so nothing will be revealed to you that you aren't ready for. Which means that at times this reading may not resonate with you because it may get too specific, and if you aren't ready on a soul level or your twin flame isn't ready to have this information revealed to you, it will still be hidden from you within this reading. But I do hope that at least one message from this really resonates with you and you get something that you need from this reading. The first thing I'm doing is pulling 3 cards for you just to begin reading into the energy of your twin flame, their life circumstances, their situation, so that you can hopefully begin to recognize them. So let's see what we get. Okay. Pulled 2 cards, and now we're gonna need one more. Oh, and that one just fell out. Okay. These cards are all coming from... Sorry, I just dropped a couple of my other cards. You may have some cards already coming out here for your later traits, but for now I just want to focus on these energy oracle cards, and we'll get into the traits of your twin flame a little bit later. Okay, so the first card I pulled for you is hostilities in reverse. Okay, I'm not really getting a clear read on this yet, so I'm going to read a little bit about this card and then we'll see what comes up. Defenses up, aggressive energy. This card reversed marks the end of hostilities for you. There's a shift in the energies around you and even about you, and the universe is supporting your own internal shift as well. Whether the aggressive action has ended due to external factors or your own intervention, this card bodes well for more peace and harmony. Strangely, I feel as though this won't apply to all of you, but for some of your twin flames, I feel this hostility was related to romance, to some karmic partner that they had a very toxic relationship with in the past. And I feel that some of your twin flames are actually newly single, that they either recently ended a relationship or were broken up with, or there was some kind of hostility. And I feel that this was a very fiery situation. It was very intense for them. And I saw someone who was just exhausted, like fighting to the point of exhaustion, almost like someone in war. And they were very overwhelmed by this situation. And now because of it, for some reason, I feel as though they're putting on a very masculine front. They're very closed off because they don't want to enter any new kind of connection or relationship when they just had all of this hostile energy within a romantic connection. Or if not that, then they witnessed a lot of hostility in romantic relationships around them. So I have a feeling this could be a person who was the child of divorced parents or who was raised in an environment of hostility. And really, whenever they think of love and relationships or closeness with another person, this is so sad. This caused a wave through my heart chakra when I got this message just now. But I feel as though within their connections, they are accustomed to there only being hostility. Love for them has always come with hostility attached to it. So love for them has almost become synonymous with hostility, with aggression. Those two things, that intensity, I saw almost this codependent sort of connection, like two strands tied up in a wadded knot together, like representing two people that were just all knotted and tied up together. And yes, they were close, but they were in so much pain together. They were so unhealthily codependent. There was so much hostility and aggression between them. So either they witnessed this from their parents, or they experienced this in a past relationship that they just got out of, and they're so used to this hostility that they almost, this made me kind of sad just for a second, they almost don't feel comfortable in a romantic situation that isn't hostile. This will be one of their wounds that they'll need to heal, because they're very used to there being this hostility within their connections. So it almost feels empty without them. Security almost feels boring to them. I just got a feeling that some of you will actually be connecting to this personally, because remember, your twin flame is a reflection of your energy. So they often mirror things about you that you actually have stuck in your own energy field. So for you, you may find that relationships that are secure are really boring. I get the sense you're someone who isn't very impressed by appearances, by someone who's really attractive, by money. None of that really impresses you. You really see to the soul of people, but that some of you actually do get bored by stability and security within relationships. You're always reaching for more. And your twin flame is always kind of doing this as well, because they are so used to associating hostility with love that a calm, peaceful love feels boring to them, for lack of a better word. And I kind of feel that if you've connected yet in this life with your twin flame, you may have found this playing out. I just heard your demons play together in all the right ways, or all the wrong ways, depending on how you look at it. But I get the feeling that because you are both used to having hostility within your relationships to an extent, maybe coming from, again, seeing a relationship being hostile between your parents, or having hostile relationships with your parents through even your teen years or something like that, or having toxic early relationships, any kind of these formative relationships that had toxicity and aggression, you came to associate that with love. So now with you and your twin flame, when you met, if you did meet yet, I feel as though you really brought out this aggression within each other. I feel that you were the kinds of people that could argue each other up into a whirlwind. I just saw a tornado. I feel like you can really build each other up or tear each other down energetically. And possibly because of this, I feel that some of your family or friends may have even told you that this person is bad news. They may not like them, because in some ways it feels as though you're highlighting all the worst and all the best of each other. But what you need to know is that the only reason this is happening within your connection is because deep down beneath all of these layers of, or this front of aggression or hostility that either you or your twin flame may be putting up, beneath that is this wounded child who gave their heart away and had it trampled on, who was told, I just heard some of you were told that you were too sensitive, you're very empathic, you're an empath, and because someone in your life, maybe your parents, told you you were too sensitive, you shoved down or numbed out that sensitivity and replaced it with this coldness, this aggression. So, or this could be your twin flame that did this. And then when you meet, you experience all of this hostility together because neither of you have learned to relax into the peacefulness of a deep, loving, authentic relationship. You're both still putting up walls. For you listening to this, if this is resonating with you, know that, first of all, if you're experiencing this aggression, if you either find yourself becoming aggressive with your twin flame, or they become angry or hostile in their words towards you, or it goes both ways, know that if you feel this anger coming up within you, I feel some of you feel guilt for getting angry, for feeling this anger. But what I need you to know, and I just saw this in a TikTok video today, but I feel I saw it because I was supposed to share this message with you in this moment. Whenever you feel that anger, that is a sign that you love yourself so much that you know what you deserve. And in this case, I feel it's because you know you deserve the most authentic, purest, most unconditional love. And you become angry, whenever you feel that inner child triggered, whenever you feel someone coming against one of those walls that you're using to protect yourself because you think that you have to protect yourself with these walls and you'll do anything to defend them. But what you need to know is that you're safe now, that you're safe to let down your guard. You're safe to be soft and open. I feel if you're a divine feminine listening to this, I feel as though you've struggled to heal your divine feminine, that you've had an overly masculine, over-aggressive, controlling energy, and you've become wounded. But know that that's not your fault. You became that way because you had to be that way. It was a survival mechanism. But that now in your adulthood, it's safe to release that. It's safe to heal your inner child. It's safe to accept and to radiate that divine feminine, creative, yet powerful energy. You are magnetic. You don't have to push. You don't have to force. You don't have to be cold to get what you want, to get the love, the abundance, the appreciation, the connection that you love and deserve. You are just innately worthy of those things. And that really leads me to the next card, which is Door to Value. New beginnings in finance or career. This card shows a door with a gold coin on it, opening to a place that's filled with light and bright potential. I feel that this really connects with the hostilities card because I feel that, and again, I know this is meant to be for your twin flame, but this is a really important message for you. Group number 3, if you are connecting with this isn't maybe directly related to your twin flame's identity, but you need to hear this because this is coming through strong. But healing this divine feminine energy, or if you're a masculine, healing your divine masculine, your wounded masculine or feminine, balancing within, this will turn you into a magnet for what you desire. Because if you're listening to this, I have a feeling you or your twin flame or both of you, the reason you may experience hostility in your connections, or you may be hostile or angry or resentful, is because you find yourself needing to push so hard for what you want, whether it's in relationships, pushing to get just this small amount of love when you deserve so much more, pushing in career to the point of burnout when you deserve limitless abundance using your creative talents. And the key to accessing this effortless wealth, this effortless connection and abundance, is healing the divine masculine and feminine energy within you. So I'm really feeling guided to share with you specifically group number 3, that I've created subliminals designed specifically for divine feminine and divine masculine healing, one for each, so whichever you resonate with. Specifically for those of you who are divine feminine, I feel this could be a very powerful way to use frequency and sound and unconscious affirmations to really access those parts of your unconscious mind, those subconscious wounds and blocks probably coming from childhood that are preventing you from radiating your natural magnetism as an empowered divine feminine. And of course, this will cause you to become highly magnetic for your twin flame connection as well. So if you're interested, more information on this divine feminine and divine masculine healing subliminal is in the pinned comment under your group timestamp, as well as in the description box. And you can, I was losing my voice a little bit there. You can try out those subliminals as well as any subliminal I've created when you sign up for a free trial account on my website. So the third card I pulled for you is actually indecision in the reverse. So I want to read a little bit about this card. Which choice to make? This card in reversed indicates a newfound freedom from indecision. You have either recently made or are just about to make an important decision. This is an important time, so bring clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy that you've been sending out is gone, and now you can bring new structure to your plans and your life. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you all along. Open up to the potential of this time and create some clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice, and to let yourself move forward with your purpose and personal power. So again, I'm feeling this wasn't so much with groups 1 and 2, but with group 3, I'm really feeling you and your twin flame have already met. And the reason I'm saying that is because your paths feel very deeply intertwined. I really feel two energies interacting in this reading, in the 3D and not just in the 5D. Again, this may not be true for all of you, but I feel many of you have already met this person and you've already had you've been connected enough that you had kind of a honeymoon phase, but then a lot of hostilities that emerged between you. And yet, healing these wounds that are emerging within your connection is the door to value in this second card. This is the way that each of you, both individually and together, begin to magnetize yourselves for success and abundance. And I feel this is very material, that both of you long for a material stability, and you've longed for this for a long time. This is part of your collective vision and actually part of your soul mission together, is to create this kind of financial stability for yourselves with each other. I just got the sense, and I just felt this come up, one or more of you may actually be in the future going to start some kind of business venture with your twin flame, or you may have thought about starting some kind of business with them in the past, or this may have kind of emerged as a dream that you've had. Now, with this indecision card, when I was reading that message, I felt as though you were at a crossroads, but that you're not really indecisive. Like the reading said, I feel as though you've already decided in your heart and soul what you're going to do about this situation, or your twin flame has already decided, but the things may only be beginning to shift. I just heard springtime, and I feel that metaphorically, like in the spring, when the snow melts, if you live somewhere where it snows in the winter, and then the flowers that begin to blossom. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble finding the words to describe this right now, but the seeds that were beneath the earth begin to spring up above the earth, and they flower in a really beautiful way. And I feel like you were that seed, that you had that seed of potential, or that your twin flame was this way, and that you went through a very difficult winter. And part of this winter could have been either, for some of you, you were just feeling intensely alone, and for others of you, it had to do with hostilities, like in the first card, and with trying to create value, doing something you love, trying to heal yourself, becoming aware of your own need for healing, and trying to move forward. I feel that some of you have actually been in an action-oriented kind of space. You haven't just been thinking about making these changes or doing this healing. You've been really focused on trying to take steps. And maybe you've been discouraged. You've been discouraged for a little while because what you have to understand is the energy shifts first and the material success follows after. And I feel Spirit is trying to tell you, you've done the work, you've shifted your energy, and the same for your twin flame. Even if it doesn't feel like they're healing, they have healed. They always heal in tandem with you. You are healing together with one another. And with this indecision card in reverse, I feel as though either for some of you, you need to be prepared because you're going to come up on some kind of crossroads. The springtime is very important to this decision. So either you just made a decision and it's going to take effect. I just heard some of you may have decided to take classes or decided to accept a job offer. I heard an acceptance of some kind. For others of you, I heard that this was a very mental decision. This was a decision that happened in your energy, a settling. You settled, not in a negative way, like settling for less than you deserve, but you settled within your own mind on a path. You decided to take a certain direction. So maybe you decided to start your own business. This feels like a positive forward momentum decision, not so much a leaving behind, but a forward motion. And even if you were leaving something behind, the emphasis wasn't on the sadness of leaving, whether it was a job or a person, but you were so excited about this future decision, this forward momentum, that you hardly had time to feel sad about what you were leaving behind. And I feel that some of you are actually very indecisive people in general, so this is a big landmark moment for you in making this shift, in making this decision. And I feel this air of celebration, that this was a very positive forward movement. Now, if this doesn't apply or resonate with you, this could be talking about your twin flame. For some of you, I feel as though your twin flame has resolved or settled on a clear vision with you for the future, and they may have not shown it in the physical world yet, but they feel much more settled in their energy. much more focused on this direction they want to take with you than they ever were before. So I feel a lot of forward growth and movement in this connection. Now, I want to just pull some trait cards that I've created that may give us some insight into some things about your twin flame that may help you to identify them. Okay, Spirit, what does group 3 need to know about their twin flame? Okay, I'm getting a lot falling out for you guys here. Okay. So I'm getting, it's funny, some of these exact cards came up for previous groups, so I'm feeling this is kind of a collective energy here. The first card I got was uncertain, so I feel this is actually past tense, referring to this decision you had to make, or some kind of uncertainty in the past, whether it was uncertainty with a job, with a relationship, some kind of decision that is being resolved. I then got career, so I'm feeling these two cards are very connected, that somehow this uncertainty did relate to money, to finances, to career. That whole idea of value of career seems to be coming up a lot in your reading. So either your twin flame has made a lot of forward motion on finding new ways to create abundance, financial abundance, value in their life, or you have found a way to do this, or one or both of you have changed careers, accepted a new job offer, moved in a new career direction. I also pulled the card interesting, and I actually get the sense this applies to your life, that your lives have been interesting. I saw this map kind of symbolizing this adventure. Although I feel that your life hasn't always felt like a good adventure. At times, this has felt like going through the deepest, darkest valleys of life. But Spirit wants you to know that you chose all of this, that you knew. And I feel like I'm giving you directly, group number 3, so many messages. This was supposed to be about your twin flame, but it feels as though your journeys are just so intertwined right now. And also that if group number 3, you are coming to this reading, there were a lot of individual messages that Spirit wanted you to hear. So it wasn't like this for the other groups, but you just had a lot coming through. And the last card I pulled was strong. So I actually feel again that this really applies to you, that you've learned to become strong. Although this could also really apply to your twin flame as well, that you've both learned to become strong, almost again to the point of perhaps stubbornness at times. But that is just part of the wound that you are healing, learning to be magnetic rather than needing to push and be overly stubborn to attract your desires in life. I want to pull a few more cards for that because, Spirit, I really want to know specifically some things about their twin flame, because we're getting a lot of messages for you, group number 3, individually, but I want to help you identify your twin flame for those of you who may need affirmation. Oh, I got healer. Okay, so I'm hearing self-healer, that your twin flame has had to heal themselves, or you've had to heal yourself. And I just heard training course. So this was like a spiritual training course. You healing yourself was a spiritual kind of crash course that you chose in this life in order to become a powerful healer for other people. And I just heard healer in disguise. I feel as though your twin flame has a very healing energy, but they aren't fully aware of that energy, that they have this kind of effect on people. People like to walk up to them and tell them their whole life story, or maybe this could be you, group number 3. But I feel this kind of healer energy, maybe even like an ancient healing energy, where in a past life, an ancient past life, either you or your twin flame was some kind of healer, or I heard medicine man for your twin flame possibly. Another thing that came up was hair. So for some reason, I'm really getting the image of long hair, and this actually came up in one of the cards. There's a depiction of a very masculine looking man with long hair. So I feel as though perhaps for some of you, again, this won't resonate with all of you, but for some of you, I feel your twin flame has long hair, and they may be muscular and put on a very kind of masculine front with this long hair and this kind of kind of masculine energy, but that beneath that they're actually a very powerful healer, that their aura is very healing. Or alternatively, this hair card could actually apply to you. You could have hair that you are very proud of. I'm not hearing a specific kind of hair, long or short. It could be any type of style of hair, but I feel that you may or may not be someone who really likes to spend a lot of time on your appearance. I feel that many of you are much more focused on the metaphysical, on the spiritual, on the maybe even the arts, or on creating wealth for yourself, on career, and maybe less focused on you have an effortless beauty about you, group number 3, and I feel that in their own way, your twin flame has this as well. However, I feel that you do take a lot of pride in your hair, and you may just have naturally beautiful hair. You may style your hair a certain way that other people admire, or your twin flame may just really love your hair, the way you style your hair. That was just a very specific card, and honestly, I still want to pull more. I'm really trying to pull out as much specific information as I can about your twin flame. Okay, so let's see what we get. Spirit, what does a card just fill out? Actually, multiple cards just fill out. Okay, so it looks like I actually have multiple messages for you, group number 3. So we have this is interesting. Okay, so we have face. I have a feeling that your twin flame you find your twin flame's face specifically very attractive, or you feel very magnetized to it, or that they are the kind of person who, with you, within your connection, they can hide their emotions in many different ways, but whenever you are facing each other, looking directly at each other's faces, they can't hide their emotions or thoughts or feelings. I just heard written on their face, that you always feel as though their true emotions are written on their face, because again, you are their twin flame, so you are just naturally able to read them like an open book. I also got age, so I'm really sensing this actually came out earlier also in these cards with when I was trying to read for my oracle cards. This age card fell out for you, group number 3. So I'm really feeling as though there is something to do with age within your connection. For some of you, I feel as though I keep getting this feeling as though your twin flame may be older, perhaps significantly older, although I'm hearing for some of you this may not be a huge age difference. This could just be 5 to 10 years older. Or if one of you isn't older, then I do feel there is maybe a maturity gap, specifically with your spiritual awakening, that one is much more spiritually mature or awakened than the other. And the more spiritually awakened one is sent to be the guide, the one to guide the other. And I just had another random message come up for someone specifically listening. This could just be one of you. This message could just be for literally one specific person. But ironically, I heard that your twin flame is older, but you are actually more mature. Your soul is, in a sense, well, I mean, your soul isn't older because you share the same core soul energy, but you feel more like an old soul because you're having an accelerated spiritual awakening. So there's this irony where your twin flame looks older physically because they are in years, but you feel older on the inside, and you are actually more of the spiritual teacher. Again, this won't be for all of you, just some of you. And then this is the strangest combination of cards. I swear, guys, I made so many of these cards, and I happened to pull introvert and extrovert at the same time to describe your twin flame. So I have a feeling your twin flame presents themselves as a confident, extroverted person. They're not overly talkative with people, but they are able to make people feel comfortable because they're a healer. They radiate a very masculine, confident energy. If they are the masculine, or if this is you, this may be your energy. And at the same time, they recharge when they're alone. So they are on the inside, they are actually on a soul level very introverted. They need their alone time. They really value their alone time. But people get confused by this because they put off such an extroverted, confident energy, but really they are highly introverted and really need to recharge by themselves alone. They are very empathic and very affected by these external energies and need a break from them. And I actually get the sense this could apply for you also listening to this group number 3. This whole kind of introvert extrovert trait could really apply to both of you. So finally, the last thing I'm going to do, group number 3, is try to pull some initial cards. I'm not sure how well this has been working because I'm going to be real with you guys. This is getting a little specific, and intuitively I feel almost too specific. I feel that some of you may find some kind of clarity in hearing these initials and hearing potential signs your twin flame could be, but for others of you, I have a feeling that this will be more so that this won't really resonate. And the reason that will be the case is because this information is so specific in this part of the reading that for some of you, you will be guarded against actually knowing this information. It won't be revealed to you. So don't worry if you don't resonate with this. It doesn't mean the person isn't your twin flame. And with that, I got one of these cards falling out. Okay, so I got V, D, L, O, B, and then another card just fell, R and T. So again, some of those letters may be significant, either your twin's first, middle, or last initials, or some letters that may be significant to you in some way. Now I'm going to pull some potential signs that your twin flame could be. This could be their actual sign or some placements that they have strongly in their chart, or your signs or placements, or again, this may not resonate with you at all. Sorry, another letter just fell out, so some of you may also be connecting with a letter I. That just kind of came out randomly. Okay, now let's pull some potential signs that your twin flame could be. Okay. Leo. I was definitely feeling that Leo energy. Libra. Capricorn. Aries. Pisces. Now again, these could be their actual sign, their sun sign, their placements, or yours, or again, these more specific sections of the reading, I really feel the need to pre-warn you that for a lot of you, I'm already intuitively sensing a lot of the rest of the reading may resonate, but some of this information maybe still be a little bit guarded from you just by divine purpose, because we are meant to experience certain things simply being unfolded before us in the physical world and not being revealed to us beforehand. So group number 3, that is the end of your reading. I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that it provided you with some sense of clarity or guidance, or gave you some kind of sign or affirmation that you needed. And just so you know, any subliminals I've mentioned in this reading, you can try out completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website, Sound and Soulful. So the information about the Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing Subliminal, as well as the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine Healing Subliminals I've created, will be in the description box as well as in the pinned comment below. Thank you so much, group number 3. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast. Hello, group number 4. If you chose the 4th card in the image, then this reading is for you. Please remember that this is a general reading, so some of this information may connect specifically with you, and other times I receive very specific messages that apply to just one person listening. I try to cover as many of the bases as possible and share as many of these messages as come through, but take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I also do want to forewarn you that at times in this reading, I'm going to be attempting to peer into very specific information about your twin flame, like potential initials, what their sign could possibly be. And because of this, and because this path is very divinely protected and guided, there will be times when there may be information being shared that on a higher self level, you or your twin flame are not yet prepared for you to know. And if this ever happens, you may find that certain parts of this reading do not resonate with you, especially the sections where I share letter initials and potential signs. If this information is too specific for your path at the current moment, it may not resonate with you, but don't worry if it doesn't. It doesn't mean that this person isn't your twin flame. It just means that this part of the reading may not have been meant specifically for you. But I will try to get as specific as I possibly can in this reading. Okay, now let's pull a couple cards for you from my energy oracle deck to get started. Okay, group number 4. The first card I pulled for you is the Sun in reverse. So I'm going to read a little bit about this card just to get us started. A creative project may be blocked at this time, or you could be feeling your own creativity being stifled in some way. These challenges could be imposed from outer sources, or they could actually be coming from within. Are you standing in your own way, stopping self-expression out of fear or self-doubt? I'm getting the feeling that, and again, in this reading, when I describe your twin flame, at times it may feel as though I'm describing you because you do share a mirror energy. So oftentimes what your twin flame is like personality-wise and what's going on in their life and what they're feeling may actually reflect you in many ways as well. I know that can be confusing at times. But what I'm sensing with the Sun in reverse, I am feeling a very strong creative energy. I just heard solar plexus. I'm feeling a very strong solar plexus energy from your twin flame. I'm feeling like they are naturally very creative. And specifically, I'm feeling as though they've had some kind of creative block in the solar plexus. I am not sure yet where this block came from, but I feel that it manifests as a low self-confidence. I just saw kind of the image of an artist painting in the dark. I feel that either you or your twin flame may feel as though you're hiding your art, you're hiding your gifts from the world because you're afraid of, I just heard a critic. Maybe there's a specific critic in your life. Maybe this was a parental figure or a teacher who criticized your work or your art growing up or told you that you wouldn't amount to anything. Or this could be, for some of you, your inner critic, that you have this inner critic that is preventing you from fully stepping into your power potential and sharing your gifts, sharing your art with the world. And I feel that for your twin flame and with you, I feel, first of all, that you're both experiencing this to some extent. And I also feel this will be one of the greatest ways in which you will be each other's healer within this connection. Now, just so you know, I've created a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal that's designed to address these kinds of subconscious chakra blockages. I myself have actually experienced this specific block, this solar plexus block with creativity, with confidently sharing my gifts. And this came from in early childhood, and just I feel guided to share a little bit personally, but I've always been a very creative person. And in early childhood, although my parents didn't actively criticize my artwork, they only really gave me praise, active praise for academics, for achieving in some kind of material way, for then later on in life, for earning money, for getting good grades in college, for these kinds of material achievements that had some kind of perceived value whereas my creative talents weren't given that kind of praise. And so I started hiding my own talents, repressing them, becoming ashamed of them, not confidently expressing my gifts. And doing this 7-chakra clearing subliminal really helped me to clear out solar plexus blockages and to be able to freely express my creativity, because to express creativity, all the chakras are very connected, and that is why I always recommend a very comprehensive approach to chakra clearing. Because, like, for example, if you don't feel stability within your root chakra, you'll never be able to experience confidence in your solar plexus chakra, because this imbalance in the root chakra also throws off the solar plexus. And in the same way, in order to fully express your creativity, you have to share it with others through your words, through your voice, through expressing your truth. And this is really centered in the throat chakra. So this just gives you kind of a window of insight into how our energy is so interconnected. We have this circulating energy within our being that becomes blocked in certain ways. So if this is really resonating with you, I highly recommend checking out the 7-chakra clearing subliminal I've created. And actually, I'm feeling guided to tell you to start by using the general 7-chakra clearing and not the one for twin flames, unless you feel guided to it. You are a twin flame, but I feel that actually the best thing specifically for you within your twin flame connection is to heal your solar plexus and your throat chakra and your root chakra through this subliminal for general clearing. And that by doing this, by healing and shifting within, you will actually heal your twin flame connection. They will feel that shift of the balance of energy as well. So if you're interested in that, I will leave the link to that 7-chakra clearing subliminal in the pinned comment under your timestamp, as well as in the description box. And just so you know, you can access this subliminal as well as any subliminal I've created completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. Okay, so I'm about to flip the second card for you guys. I'm feeling a little bit of anticipation. I don't know, that's strange. I didn't really get that feeling for the other groups, but maybe your twin flame's life has this feeling of anticipation, this feeling of being on the brink of something, on the brink of a breakthrough, or maybe you feel this way. This feeling as though something is about to happen, but you don't know what. And sometimes this may be frustrating or overwhelming to you because you know something is coming. It's like you know something's right around the corner, but every time you turn the corner, nothing's there. And it's this kind of anticipatory feeling in your life. And this is Rest and Rejuvenation is the card that I pulled for you. Okay, guys, let's see what this card has to say. This card shows a man in a meditative and tranquil state. The message here is that it's time to relax. See, maybe that's exactly what I was thinking with that anticipation. Maybe that's you feeling on edge. So maybe you're not as much positively anticipating what's to come, but feeling a little bit anxious, feeling a little nervous. I just heard time running out. I feel as though some of you listening feel as though there's a shortage of time. You feel as though time is running through your fingers, that you don't have enough time to fully achieve your passion, your purpose in life. You feel a little lost, and I just saw an hourglass. You have your eye on this hourglass and the sand running through it, and you really feel as though you're running low on time. But Spirit wants you to know you are perfectly on your path and on your purpose. Everything is divinely unfolding for you. And actually right now, the key to your highest growth and healing is to go within, to truly allow yourself to rest, to relax. I just heard type A. I'm sorry, I know this is supposed to be about your twin flame, but I feel as though many messages are coming through specifically for you, Group 4, but I feel like many of you are very type A. Maybe you are straight A students, you were high achievers, you were people pleasers, and maybe this is part of why you you were willing to forego your creative gifts and talents because you wanted to make other people happy. And I feel as though right now is actually a divine time of rest. I heard creative energy recharge, that Some of you, okay, this just hit me really hard. Someone needs to hear this. One of you listening is highly creative, but you felt as though your creative talent has run dry. Maybe you are a musician or an artist or a writer, and you feel like you have writer's block in whatever way that applies. In just the worst way, the creativity isn't flowing, and it's causing you depression because you've always really valued being able to creatively express yourself through these hobbies. It's what made you feel like you, to feel centered and grounded. But you're being told that actually nothing is going wrong here. You aren't doing anything wrong. And the only reason you're feeling this stuckness in your creativity is because this is a time of rest and healing and creative recharging for you. And also this is a time of overcoming your feelings of self-doubt and your worry about what other people will think about the things that you're creating. And as you heal these blocks, as you build your own inner confidence and strength, you will recharge your creative energy. And I saw you coming out on the other side of a tunnel with all of this power, this magnificent energy, and creative success. I'm really hearing group number 4, you are going to have a lot of success with your creative talents. I know this was supposed to be a twin flame reading, but many of you came to this reading or were drawn to this reading for the title because it said, "Who is my twin flame?" But Spirit actually needed you to hear these other messages you may have not even known that you needed to hear. So this is all very important for you. And finally, we have 4th chakra in reverse. This is interesting. Let's see what this card says. This card reversed indicates some blocks in the flow of your heart center energy. Perhaps it's an old sense of abandonment or the grief of a broken heart lingering from a long past event. Whether it's recent or not, this blocked energy stops you from caring for yourself and attracting love from others. And it can create an undercurrent of unhappiness that permeates your life. Wow, okay, so I was feeling strong solar plexus blocks earlier. But this card is also telling me that your heart chakra is also a bit blocked up. Remember, all of the chakras are very connected, so this makes sense. In fact, I feel many of you listening, this just hit me really hard. The reason your heart chakra is blocked is because it starts, remember, all the chakras are connected. So let's play out this scenario. This won't apply to all of you, but I feel this will really resonate with at least one of you and provide you a lot of clarity. So it starts with the root chakra, right? You're a child, you are highly dependent on your parents. You are materially dependent on them for survival. So it only makes sense that you are codependent. It's how you have to be. It's survival. But you don't feel as though you will be given what you need to survive as long as you are expressing your truth, expressing your creative gifts. And so you hide your gifts. You develop a lack of self-confidence, maybe not even really knowing who you truly are outside of pleasing others. And this causes solar plexus blockages. Then this, because your solar plexus is thrown out, because you feel low self-confidence and you can't fully express your truth or creative power, you try to fill this void by forcing's a little bit too strong, but doing everything you can to pull love out of others because you aren't capable or you haven't learned how to fully feel your own love, how to radiate your own love inward. So you are very dependent on others for emotional support, for love. So dependent that this may come off as being controlling or manipulative in your relationships, but it's just because you need this love from them the way you need food and water, the way you need it to be cared for and seen as a child. It is a need for you. And because you haven't found a way to meet it yourself through expressing your own authenticity, through stepping into your own confidence, it results in this heart chakra block where you are unable to love unconditionally and to love with confidence and with certainty because you have all of these fears of losing love, of not having that love returned to you. And this probably started, I feel, with these wounds. they may have reflected in past romantic relationships, but I actually really strongly feel that they started in childhood, not in a romantic relationship, and that really any romance that had this kind of insecurity playing out was really just a reflection of this childhood wound. And within your twin flame connection, I'm trying to tie this back into twin flames. There were just so many messages for you. I'm feeling as though some of you may have not attracted your twin flame yet because you are still healing to the point where you will be able to recognize love when you feel it from them. And maybe some of you have actually encountered or met your twin flame, but because of these severe blockages, especially in the heart chakra, you actually aren't able to recognize unconditional love for what it is. Or maybe your twin flame is this way, and this is what's causing one or both of you to run away from the connection. I feel that many of you resonating with this group are in a runner-chaser energy. Again, this won't be all of you, but I feel that either you or your twin flame is running away from the connection because, and I just keep hearing you're not able to recognize love for what it is. And it's not your fault. It's because you didn't have an example of unconditional love, or your twin flame, if this is talking about them, they didn't have that example. And so when unconditional love is shown to them or shown to you through this twin flame connection, you aren't able to recognize it, and your instinct is actually to run away from it until you heal these heart chakra blocks, which I know I've already recommended the 7 chakra clearing subliminal. But beyond that, I would recommend meditating with that once daily, and then if you feel inspired and this is resonating with you, also incorporate a subliminal I've created for twin flame heart chakra activation, because this is a very powerful sound and frequency tool to clear any blockages that we store within the heart center. So to allow you to both radiate and fully receive into your being unconditional love, which is paramount to not only deepening the 3D twin flame connection, but actually deepening communication, because I'm guessing if you're experiencing this heart block, your communication with your twin flame is very unstable at this time. So either you haven't met them, so you haven't communicated with them at all because of this block, or you have met them and there's this lack of clear communication, seemingly a running or chasing, feeling as though either you are ignoring your twin flame or they are ignoring you in the physical. And this is all a manifestation of this heart block, because for twin flames, the communication actually doesn't occur through the mind. It occurs telepathically through the heart center. This is how twin flames are most energetically connected. So when you have these heart chakra blockages, they actually prevent you from even being able to fully, clearly communicate, even verbally, even physically with your twin flame, which is why you may sometimes feel as though you're talking past one another, not fully seeing or understanding or being understood. It all comes down to these heart chakra blocks. So I will leave both of these subliminals, the 7 chakra clearing and the heart chakra activation, in the pinned comment and in the description box for you guys, group number 4, just in case those resonate with you and you'd like to incorporate them into your meditation routine. Now, since we've talked a lot about you and your own path and your own healing, I really want to get some actual specific traits. So I want to help you to better recognize your twin flame. Although I have to say, I feel as though many of you have a strong intuition about who this person is. And actually, I feel as though many of you came to this video looking or seeking some kind of confirmation, but I keep hearing the phrase, you already know. You already know this person. You already know who they are. And I feel that you're actually pretty confident about who they are, and it's just sometimes your ego that gets in the way and makes you kind of start to doubt or question the connection, especially because of these blocks and maybe this running and chasing that's going on. So I want to pull some specific traits that your twin flame may have so that you can better recognize them. Let's see what comes out. Okay. Okay. So the cards I got for you were, first of all, what really came out strong is angelic and voice came out together. So I almost feel these are connected, and you feel as though your twin flame has a very healing voice. I feel that voice resonance is very important between you and your twin flame. Few people know this, but the voice actually carries our soul's energetic frequency. So when we experience resonance with our twin flame's voice, when we feel as though it's familiar to us or that we've heard it somewhere before, what we are actually feeling is that soul resonance manifesting through the voice. So I feel as though you were very drawn to your twin flame's voice. I'm sorry, I kind of laughed because I heard that it's like they called you to them. I just got goosebumps. So I know that someone is going to really resonate with this. Maybe I just heard, this is just a specific illustration, someone calling someone's name across the room to get their attention, or they said something to you and you felt literally magnetically pulled to them by the sound of their voice, like your soul was just saying, yes, this is the one. I recognize that voice. I know that voice from somewhere. I also got wanderer. So I feel like either you or your twin flame is a bit of a free spirit. I feel for some of you that this person could have actually, either they long to travel or they have traveled in the past. For some reason, I got the image of like a van life type person, someone who's very free spirited, someone who's very fluid with location, maybe someone who's moved around a lot, someone who's not very geographically tied to a place. Either, even if they've lived there their whole life, they don't feel connected to it. Whoa, I just got this message that some of you, either you or your twin flame, actually feels like a wanderer on planet Earth. Like on this whole planet, you feel like you're just wandering, like you're just passing through. And this is because group number 4, both you and your twin flame are a very old soul. So you have this sense of the eternity within you. You have a sense of how small this life is compared to all of these lifetimes you've lived before and all of the eternity that is ahead of you. And because of this, it's very hard for you to feel as though you belong in a certain physical place. You or your twin flame may really feel as though nowhere really feels quite like home to you. You don't really feel super tied to any certain city or location. Very fluid with where you want to be. And in fact, this may even actually drive you to travel because you want to just experience all that life has to offer, all that the world has to offer. And you're not really interested in tying yourself to one physical location. Again, this won't apply to all of you, and this could either be speaking about you or your twin flame. And finally, the 4th card I pulled is humor. I actually just heard humor to cover. So I sometimes feel like your twin flame uses humor to cover what they're really thinking or feeling, or to dilute it. That's what I heard. So maybe in your connection, when your twin flame, I heard like that they diffuse situations with humor. So if you're having a really serious moment, or your twin flame is expressing love to you, expressing their true feelings, it may be frustrating to you at times because they might then make a joke or turn it into a joke or use humor to kind of diffuse seriousness. And this actually comes from, in part, their heart chakra block because they're afraid to fully open up. In fact, I heard class clown. They may have been someone who was the class clown growing up who would always make people laugh. And I actually, though, feel like this comes from a fear because they're afraid to be serious, to seriously share their emotions and feelings with someone because they don't want to be rejected. So then they cover this or try to mask their true feelings with humor. And I feel this may just apply to one of you, but I feel that one of you listening is frustrated because you're trying to connect romantically with your twin flame, and I feel that you already have this working platonic kind of relationship, like a friendship. Again, this may just be one of you, but I feel that within this friendship, whenever you begin to breach the topic of love or romance, your twin flame kind of diffuses it with humor or makes a joke out of it or jokes about it. And you may even find that sometimes it's hard to have serious conversations about moving your relationship forward because of this, but now you know why. You know that it comes from this insecurity, from this instability within the heart chakra. Now this is the part of the reading where I have to give you a warning, because I'm going to be trying to pull specific letter initials, and I don't know if these will resonate with you because, again, for some of you, this may be too specific. You may not be meant to know these specific pieces of information just yet about your twin flame, but for others of you, this may be helpful or provide you insight or clarity. Okay, I R N M C T and L are some of the letters I'm getting. If that applies to any of you, again, if it doesn't resonate, it just wasn't meant for you, or this isn't information you're meant to have right now. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some sign cards. So these could be potentially either your twin flame sign, some placements in their chart, your sign, placements in your chart. Or again, this could not apply to you. This part of the reading may be too specific for what you're meant to know at this moment. So initially I'm pulling Sagittarius, Cancer, Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo. So if you're connecting with any of those specific signs. And finally, the last thing I want to do for you, group number 4, is actually pull some very specific messages from your twin flame. Okay. You know already. This is what I said earlier, guys. I strongly feel as though you already know who this person is. You know in your heart and soul. You've maybe been someone who's actually already very familiar with twin flames, watched a lot of twin flame videos. I feel that you already know who this person is. You already know that they're your twin flame. And guys, I just got a wave of goosebumps. The second message I pulled is the answer is yes. So however this applies for you, if you've been asking a specific question to spirits or to the universe, your answer is yes. If you've been listening to this reading wondering, is it this person? Your answer is yes. And I feel like I should pull at least one more. Ooh, I wish I could. In this card, I'm feeling a longing from your twin flame, that they're longing to deepen this connection. Again, this won't apply to all of you, but I feel that many of you are already connecting with this person in some way. You're already friends platonically, you're aware of each other. And I feel that your twin flame is saying that they want to deepen this connection with you, despite maybe covering with humor or at times perhaps ignoring you or trying to escape the connection, or maybe you're doing this. But maybe it feels from this card that this longing, I just heard it's not practical. So their ego is telling them that for whatever reason right now, it doesn't feel practical to them to deepen this connection. Maybe it's because they're aware that they have this healing work to do. For some of you, I feel as though it's because it's directly tied to this creativity they're trying to cultivate. I just heard I have to do it alone, or the ego thinking that I have to do it alone. This came through really strong. This may apply to your twin flame. Okay, let me give this message as best I can. Either you or your twin flame was raised in an environment where your creative gifts and talents were ignored. They weren't praised. And as a result, you began to hide them from these people, from these connections. And you almost pretended as though you didn't have these gifts, like that illustration I had earlier of the painter painting this masterpiece in the dark or in a closet. Now, as you've grown older into adulthood, because of these childhood experiences of having to hide your creativity and your art and feeling these people around you sabotaging your creativity, you now feel as though it's not safe to share your creative side with the people you love because you're afraid that they might tear you down. So you feel as though, or your twin flame feels as though, they have to do this by themselves, that they have to build this creative gift or this business or whatever they're trying to do with their creative talent, that they have to do it alone, that they can't share it with you, or maybe you feel that you can't share it with them because it's too sacred to you, because you spent so much time handing over your power, handing over your gifts, sacrificing. I just heard sacrificing your gifts for someone else, specifically probably for your parents or for past partners. So there's a lack of trust, not just trust in yourself to not do that again, to not give away so much of yourself and your creative gifts to another person again, but also trust in that other person to treat your gifts in the same sacred way that you treat them, to help you cultivate them. So a big boundary, obstacle in your twin flame connection, group number 4, is going to be for each of you to be able to trust each other and trust yourself, which really go hand in hand, to be able to connect romantically in a deeper way with one another while still having the courage and confidence to create your own gifts, to share your own creative talents and gifts with the world, and to mutually support one another in these endeavors while still romantically connecting and sharing this beautiful 3D romantic relationship. This is what you're working towards, and you have all of these obstacles to overcome, specifically, like I said, in the solar plexus and the heart chakra I'm really seeing for you. So if you would like to begin to participate in your own inner healing by shifting the balance of these chakras, by clearing away any negative blockages in all 7 chakras, be sure to check out the subliminals I mentioned from your reading. They will be linked in the description box and the pinned comment under your timestamp. And remember, as I said earlier, you can try out any of these subliminals that I've created completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. Thank you so much for listening, group number 4. Please subscribe if I resonated with you, and I hope to talk to you again in the next reading.